Ho, hey, welcome back. Happy Monday, everybody. Lots changed since Friday. We're looking, look, Ethereum could be finally breaking out. No, Trump tariffs, no breakout for you. Nuke instead. Crazy times in the market, guys. We're going to break down what's going on with the tariff situation, taking a look at some charts, letting you know what's going on in the situation. Of course, your questions second half, okay? So we'll get into those. Got lots to cover, so we're going to get straight into this. We might stream a bit longer today if it takes a little longer than I think to get through some of this stuff. Wait a minute, this isn't Upuary. Recuary. We'll rename it to Recuary. Anyway, $2 billion liquidated in 24 hours. You have just lived through a record liquidation event. Absolute insanity. More than the COVID dump. This liquidation event was worse than the COVID dump. Now, for perspective, markets are a lot, bigger now. The current price of the markets is much bigger than it was during the COVID dump. So obviously the total liquidation is going to be bigger. Still, what an event in the markets. Bigger than the FTX collapse as well. What a day of days in the markets. Goodness gracious me. Crazy times. Hope you guys doing okay out there. It's been nuts. Now, I posted this a bit before the worst of the crash happened. I de-risked a little bit of my crypto portfolio, not all, about 10%, okay? About 10% of the portfolio moving into cash. Just while we wait this storm to blow over. So that was ETH around 3K, Chainlink around 21 bucks. So both those are out in pretty big profits. And it's nice to crash those positions out in big profits and just wait on the sideline. Now, I might rebuy those. I'm going to rebuy the Chainlink. The Ethereum, I'm already thinking like, gosh, maybe I just buy Solana. I don't know. Hey, we'll probably rebuy the ETH later too. But those two will be rebought once I think things have cleared down a little bit, just be more in cash for a little while. I also sold my aerodrome position. I've been talking about that for a few weeks. So I decided, screw it, it's around $1. I'm going to pull the plug on that. And then we'll just have the cash sitting there and we can reassess later. Lumia, Cook, nuked those bags. And about 5% of my Avalanche, which was kind of just sitting on an exchange, is like, just screw it, take cash on that too. In profit, why not? So fine, okay? Basically, the idea here was that, as I guess correctly thought, that the market's going to continue nuking on this tariff fear stuff, and it did do pretty bad overnight. Haven't bought back yet. I think we could still have a little bit of turbulence to go before things even out. Now, if I end up having to buy back a little bit higher, I really don't care. It's fine. I'd rather have that strategic cash just sitting there to give me a few more options. Okay. So that being said, why is the market down today? Explain it to 7-year-olds. U.S. placing 25% tariffs on Canada, U.S. placing 25% tariffs on Mexico, U.S. placing 10% tariffs on China, Canada putting 25% tariffs back on Mexico, Mexico preparing retaliatory tariffs against the USA. Also, now China said they're also preparing retaliatory tariffs. Cool. Canada's large and trade partner of the USA. Mexico's number 2, or number 2. Yeah, I think Mexico's number 2, China's number 3. So U.S. is 3 largest trading partners. They just went to war with, essentially. Now, there is going to be negotiations, more on that in a second, but this kind of stuff spooks the hell out of the markets, okay? And the crypto markets sniffed out a lot of that volatility over the weekend. Trump makes an announcement on Friday. Equity markets are closed. You have the whole weekend to digest the insanity. Crypto markets, of course, see that volatility playing out. Greg says, you're some man for panicking and selling. Well, there's always many people who criticize moving back and forth out of positions. It's 10% of my portfolio, moving it into cash at profits. I mean, I really don't understand the problem here, Griggs. I wish you the best in your portfolio and that you will always make absolutely perfect decisions all the time. For me, I slept pretty good last night, man. Slept pretty good last night, knowing that equity markets are likely to tank, which they did. Okay. And now I've got more options because I protected some of my capital. I don't know what's so controversial about that. Some of you guys need to get a little more in tune with looking at your portfolio in more fluid ways. Okay, there's nothing wrong with moving to cash, waiting for things to blow over. And it's not like I sold 100% of my cryptocurrencies, guys. Still holding 90% of the damn portfolio. 10% into cash, we'll rebuy later. Don't know what's controversial about that. Anyway, people always have their opinions, and that's fine. You guys will have their opinions. You want on the things that I do. I share them, though. I share the things with you. You guys can take it at face value for what I do. You can have all the kinds of criticisms you want about me. That's absolutely fine. This is why I share things with you. I want you guys to know what I'm doing. Okay. I want to be upfront about those things with you. It's much easier just to not say these things, not face the criticism. Okay. But I want you guys to know. Okay. I tell you when I'm buying stuff. We tell you when we're exiting major positions and stuff like this. So, you know. Okay. Anyway, I hope you guys appreciate that. Obviously, if you ever want to see my portfolio disclosures, link down below in the description where you can find that. I haven't updated it for these recent sales. Might be back in the ETH and Chainlink by the end of the week, depending on how things go. Anyway, it's a different story. Continuing. Now, it's a big read here, but just a couple highlights from it. So this is from Jeff Park. He says, who is, by the way, who's Jeff Park? He's the head of Alpha Strategies at Bitwise. So he says, to understand today's tariffs, there are two contexts you have to frame the conversation is. The curse of the Triffin dilemma and Trump's personal goals. Okay, the end game becomes clear. Tariffs might just be a temporary tool, but the permanent conclusion is that Bitcoin is not only going higher but faster. First, the dilemma: the U.S. dollar status as reserve currency gives the U.S. what is called an exorbitant privilege in financial transactions and trade. It has a few implications. One, the dollar is structurally overvalued due to its need to be held as reserves by other countries in a price elastic manner. Two, the U.S. has to run a persistent trade balance deficit to supply the world with its dollars. Three, the U.S. government can borrow persistently cheaper than it should be able to. So the U.S. wants to keep number three and get rid of number one, number two. Okay? Recognize that tariffs are often a temporary negotiation tool to achieve a goal. The ultimate goal is to seek a multilateral agreement to weaken the dollar, essentially a Plaza Accord 2.0. And this is very, very important, by the way. One hypothetical way this could happen is the U.S. would explicitly specify that countries have to reduce the dollar reserves while also requiring them to shift the duration of the U.S. Treasury holdings further out. In other words, Trump is trying to find a way to implement a strategy within the realms of the executive branch. No doubt dissent is on board. That's the Treasury Secretary, recognizing that he was left a bag of trash by Janet Yellen. Okay, as a result, the U.S. is charting a path to achieve the holy grail fiat alchemy: lower dollar and lower yield. Interesting. Brings me to the second point. He says, I've shared before that Trump's number one goal is to lower the 10-year rate. The reason being that his own bags depend on it. Real estate. His obsession with Powell cutting short-term rates, then realizing it's not working, is the catalyst. Never doubt the uncomplicated incentives of the transparently profit-motivated and align yourself next to him. Mark my words, the 10-year is going to go down whatever it takes. Weaker dollar, weaker bonds. Okay? The asset to own, therefore, is Bitcoin. In a world of weaker dollar, weaker U.S. rates, something broken pundits will tell you is impossible because they can't model statecraft. Risk assets in the U.S. will fly through the roof beyond your wildest imagination. Okay? It's not a time to lose all sense of reality, okay? Risk assets in the U.S. will fly through the roof beyond your wildest imagination, for it is likely a giant tax cut that will have to accompany the higher costs borne by the loss of comparative advantage. The tariff costs, most likely through higher inflation, will be shared by both U.S. and trade partners, but the relative impact will be much heavier on foreigners. These countries then will have to find a way to fend off their weak growth issues, leading to stimulating the economy through monetary and fiscal policies that ultimately cause currency debasement. The outraged citizens of these countries will experience a financial crisis, look for alternatives. Unlike the 1970s when the world was largely offline, today we are not only online, we are on chain. So both sides of the trade and balance equation will want Bitcoin for different reasons. The end result is the same: higher, violently faster, for we are at war. TLDR, you simply have not grasped how amazing a sustained tariff war is going to be for Bitcoin in the long run. Short term, always potential for volatility and pain. Keep that in mind. Goldman Sachs believes U.S. tariffs on Mexico and Canada will be short-lived. If you can trust the Goldman Sachs. Trump tariffs versus 2018 markets. Last time Trump did tariffs, now not exactly the same, okay? Financial conditions, last time Trump did tariffs back in 2018, basically came in right at the peak top of the altcoin madness, okay? Yeah. You can see what happened throughout the rest of the year. Things went bad, okay? Things went bad. Inflation rose, GDP sank, interest rates went up. It's a good time. President Trump to hold talks with Canada and Mexico tomorrow to discuss tariffs. Now, a lot of the market's getting very excited about that right there. So if some kind of deal is struck, okay, if that happens, then markets will reverse their attitude real fast. But I wouldn't expect anything immediate, okay? This is a major macro event that has unforeseen consequences a bit down the road. So we'll see how it plays out over the next few days. I know a lot of people have been rushing to, that's the bottom, it's the bottom, it's the bottom, it's the bottom. I've been seeing people call the bottom for the last 72 hours. Now, maybe 2100 was the bottom for ETH. Maybe 175 is the bottom for Sol. And we're just going to pump up from here. And if so, fantastic if you caught that. Okay. But a lot of people tried catching a lot of falling knives for a long time there on the market. So let's see. There's still a lot of things that could spook markets, and U.S. markets have not even opened yet. Okay, keep that in mind. But it's interesting that all that's happening in the backdrop of this, which is what Alex Carter calls, is responding to is the Goldilocks period here. And really, it's really the U.S. economy is in this perfect zone. Hopefully, the tariffs thing doesn't derail it too much. So Goldilocks economy has the following: moderate economic growth. The economy is growing at a steady, sustainable pace. The U.S. about 3% right now. Low inflation. Inflation's under 3% currently. Okay. Low unemployment. Unemployment is currently near record lows in the United States. Stable interest rates. Interest rates are doing okay. Currently paused. In essence, the Goldilocks economy strikes a balance that fosters sustained growth without leading to significant economic imbalances and crises. Investors and policymakers often view such conditions often with both economic stability and gradual improvement. The U.S. is now in a Goldilocks economic environment, minus the current tariffs hiccups, which will probably resolve sooner than later. Okay. Plus, you have stuff like this: banks tightening lending standards. So here's the thing: number of banks tightening lending standards has fallen to 0%. In other words, no banks are tightening lender standards anymore. This is very different to the high lending standards that have usually ended recessions. Usually, when a recession is about to come, this is what banks are doing: massive tightening of lending standards. Currently not happening. Okay, keep that in mind. Global liquidity ticking up after a slowdown in Q4. Liquidity is good. We like liquidity. By the way, if you're a cryptocurrency trader, yourself an account on BitUnix, best place to be trading the cryptocurrency markets, link down below. You can partake of a 20% deposit rebate right now. Deposit $1,000, get $200 back. Exclusively using that link down below. Plus, BitUnix is a great place to be doing trading, deep liquidity across all the major pairs. They list all the hot altcoins straight away. And no KYC, no VPN, no BS. Just click on the link, start trading, have a good time. Okay, so Bitcoin, of course, the king of assets here. Now, it has lost the 50-day EMA once again, bounced off the 100-day EMA right down here. Not bad. And, of course, bounced right at the bottom of the range. So Bitcoin has been doing incredibly well, relatively speaking, during the sell-off, okay? All it did was tap the bottom of the range and come back up to around mid-90s right now. Okay, fine. I see you, Bitcoin. But the problem is, not everybody's just holding Bitcoin, are they? No, we got all of our glorious shit coins, which have been getting hit pretty hard recently, obviously. So my Bitcoin bag's fine. It's chilling. My altcoin bags, that's a different story. Anyway, $95,000 Bitcoin right now, tap the bottom of the range. So far, so good. So far, so good. Okay. Lark is telling everybody last week to buy while he was selling. What a low life. Thanks for the comment, buddy. I appreciate that. So I try not to tell you guys to buy. Okay. I try to lay out scenarios and what's going on in the market. I try to say what I'm doing. Okay. And I tell you when I'm buying, I tell you when I'm selling. Okay. I don't try to tell you guys what you should do or not do with your money. Okay. I try to present information to you. You get to make the decisions on what to do. Okay. I know everybody's a bit emotionally fragile today, okay? There's somebody else with the exact same comment. Fantastic. Anyway, continuing. Bitcoin MACD now has a pending bearish crossover, which is not great, to be honest. Not great at all. Weekly MACD bear crosses are not good things unless that reverses in the not-so-distant future. Probably not fantastic for how the next few weeks are going to play out. Let's see what happens. Right? But usually weekly MACD bear crosses are not particularly fantastic for Bitcoin. So let's see how that plays out. But just FYI, that's happening. So just because Bitcoin's currently in the range doesn't mean that if the macro fear grows, that the markets cannot continue to act irrationally. Because markets love acting irrationally. But then the flip side is this. Look at this. These are all the states currently looking to buy Bitcoin in the USA. Crazy, man. Crazy. Look at that. Absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. The dollar index did soar overnight, getting back up to almost 110. Huge strength from the dollar index yesterday. Okay, Canadian and Mexican currencies taking a big free fall on this tariff news. Dollar showing a lot of strength. When the dollar shows strength, risk assets suffer, as you have just seen, right? Currently, it's fallen back down a little bit. Risk assets are breathing a little bit on a bounce here currently, okay? Asia stocks opening lower. U.S. markets, again, still not open. This is the NASDAQ E-mini futures, so U.S. equity futures, okay? So currently trading below the 50-day EMA here. U.S. markets will open up in hour or 2 hours, something like that. So currently, we have had, of course, U.S. stocks selling down, but not the kind of bloodbath that probably the market was expecting, okay? Let's see. Let's see what happens on actual U.S. market open, how much the equity markets are actually panicking over this, okay? Be interesting to see. Thomas says, as January goes, so goes the year. Welcome to February. It's official. The S&P 500 closed green for the month of January. It means positive January barometer in effect now since 1950. If the S&P performance is positive in January, it is followed up with a positive year 89% of the time. Now, the contrarian bet would be, okay, well, we're in the 11% of the time when it's all going to go to zero. But probably not. After this short-term scare, markets will have a chance to recover. It depends on how bad. Maybe it's like worst trade or wherever and things go absolutely bonkers, right? Chances are there'll be some kind of negotiation, some kind of more moderate resolution to this whole situation, and then things will continue forward, okay? Markets tend to overreact to bad news, and your meme coins in particular. It's amazing how the entire crypto industry is basically just a proxy for the U.S. economy. It's classic. Fart coin is the answer. Amen, man. The hot air rises. The hot air rises. Thanks. Appreciate the comment. Appreciate the comment. Okay, continuing. Here's an interesting one. Alt performance versus Bitcoin measured from Bitcoin cycle bottoms. So you can see here that altcoins tend to perform the best in the last stage of the market. 80% of the market time, you will have, you'll basically be eating shit on your altcoins. And then you'll have 20%, maybe even 10% of the market cycle, which Bitcoin finally moves enough, and then your altcoins will outperform dramatically. Now, there's obviously been outperformance of certain coins, right? We had some coins that have pumped, but most of those have already I mean, look at Dog with Hat, man. It was at $5 6 weeks ago, man. Now it's at 70 cents or some crap like that. Holy crap. Here's the ETH chart. Ethereum. Oh my gosh. I tell you, man, it actually, here, look at this. Zoom in on the RSI there. It actually hit oversold today. And not many of the majors did. A lot of the altcoins did, but not many of the majors did. But Ethereum did. Ethereum, again, continued to be one of those assets just getting its absolute butt handed to it for a while here. So I was looking right here at this potential breakout on Friday. It's like, ooh, there could be a nice little breakout coming here. Let's see what happens with that. No breakout for us. Fake out to mega freaking dump. That's why we use stop loss. I've had so many messages today, and I've seen so many comments today from people who are like, I got liquidated, man. Holy shit, guys. Use freaking stop losses, man. Now, look, you got your on-chain shitters and stuff that you just have to sort of manage position size wise. You know, like, okay, you're only going to put $1,000 into this because it could go to zero or it could go to, millions, whatever. Okay, fine. But if you are trading, goodness gracious, use stop losses, guys. Use stop losses. Use stop losses. No, seriously, use stop losses. I can't repeat that enough because so many people don't, and they lose so much more money than they need to. Protect your downside. Protect your damn capital, okay? This is a wildly irrational market that has huge tendencies to sell off insanely, just like has happened here. Okay, guys, one more chart to look at, then we'll get into your questions. This is a Solana chart. Again, lost the 50-day EMA, 20-day EMA, downtrend still well in effect. Came right back down to hit the key support area, though. Hit 175 today. Actually, ETH came right back down to this key support area as well. So basically, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana all came back down and tested major cycle support that has been in place for months. But it's insane. The price of Ethereum today went back to basically the August lows of the yen carry trade. Fuck. ETH, man. Glad I sold it at 3K. I don't know. We'll see about re-entering that. I'll probably look to re-enter it like break even if I see the markets are actually starting to show strength again. Okay. That's kind of the plan there, but I'm pretty happy to be in cash currently while I wait for ETH to decide what the heck it's doing right here. Solana, again, similar situation, coming right back down to test a major low. But, the Solana lows is like back to December 20th and like January 15th. Let's go back here. Where are we at? The August lows for Solana, $110. So it just makes you realize, man, how badly ETH has been performing versus Bitcoin, versus Solana, versus a lot of the other major cryptocurrencies. Okay. There we go. All right. So let's get into some of your questions. Lark, this news caused a worse crash in the FTX collapse. Everyone knows about the FTX collapse and what happened today. Can we consider that the market has turned bearish? Well, definitely a lot of coins are looking bearish today, although not really Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still in good market structure. Solana's still in good market structure, although pretty wide range. It depends on what coins you're talking about. I think that a lot of the on-chain coins are absolutely devastated beyond belief, right? Those are in a bear market right now. It may be a very short-lived bear market, but a bear market nevertheless. In terms of some of the bigger stuff, I don't think we're in a bear market yet. We'll see. See how it plays out over the next few weeks, okay? Next few days even could be important in determining that sort of broader direction in the market. If the trade war gets worse, you know, that might have further implications for our risk assets, and U.S. equities could go down. And it's amazing how reflexive we are. You know, U.S. equities go down 2%, your meme coins go down 90%. Oh my gosh, crazy. What is your take on Arbitrum? I like using the network. I haven't actually used it that much recently. A little bit here and there, I think, for something, but I haven't really spent much time on Arbitrum in probably 6 to 8 months, been mostly on Base or Solana. So nothing against Arbitrum. Now, the Arbitrum token, useless governance token, wouldn't personally buy it, used to own it. Gave up on it after I just realized they're never going to do anything with this damn thing, are they? Maybe they have since then, but anyway. Lost 50 to 60. Please pray for myself. I'm praying for you, man. Praying for you. You know, on days like today, hold on. Days like today, it's useful to take stock and think about where you've underperformed, why you've underperformed, what mistakes you've made, and how you can fix those going forwards. I don't think the market cycle's over yet. Okay. Now, it doesn't mean we don't have more pain in the short term. We certainly could. Let's see what plays out in the news this week. Unfortunately, we are going to be very news-driven, headline-driven market reactions this week. So watch for that. But I still think we have a lot of great opportunities in this market. I don't think that this is definitively the start of the new bear market, but let's keep our minds open. Let's watch the charts. Let's see what the charts are telling us. Okay. Again, in terms of a lot of altcoins, they're back to cycle lows. Some of these damn things. It's insane. Utter devastation for some altcoins. It's just to a shocking degree that surprises even me, considering how strong Bitcoin is relatively at this stage. So, yeah. Cart says we'll drop again in the next 24 hours. Could do. Let's see what happens. Can we all stop pretending Trump is good for crypto now? I think it's more about the case of his macro moves, right? I think he's still very good for crypto for a variety of reasons. Pro-Treasury CFTC, pro-Treasury SEC, pro-Treasury Treasury Secretary. He's pro-Treasury, pro-crypto. JD Vance is pro-crypto. So we got lots of pro-crypto people in very important places in power. Okay, so that's very important. We're going to get a lot of altcoin ETFs, all that kind of stuff. A lot of things are going to happen. But yeah. Obviously, the macro stuff is a different conversation, and crypto is a proxy for macro markets, okay? YouTubers don't have a clue. Actually, nobody has a clue. That's the fun part. That's the fun part, Roxy. Nobody really knows what's going to happen, okay? No one's got a crystal ball. All we have is our models, our opinions, our portfolios, and at the end of the day, it's actually quite interesting. At the end of the day, investing is a relatively lonely thing. It's mostly just you sitting in front of your computer screen, thinking about what is or is not going to make you more money, and what is or is not going to help you manage your risk and all that kind of stuff. It's tough. It's tough. You know, you try to just find the best information that you can. So there you go. Is this similar to 2017 from your opinion? I think there's a lot of things happening in the market right now that give a lot of similarities to 2017, U.S. economic strength, all that stuff. However, the difference is that in Trump's last presidency, he didn't do tariffs in 2017. He did tariffs in 2018. I don't like 2018 parallels because obviously that's bad news bears for our risk assets. Then there's all this other positive economic stuff that could be very good for our risk assets, but obviously the tariff stuff has spiked the dollar, so the dollar is not currently weakening. Now it could just be a temporary spike before it absolutely plummets over the next few weeks. Let's see. Like we discussed earlier, long term, weaker dollar, weaker bond yields. That's what Trump's after, okay? Where are we up to? Clark, do we only focus on DCAing Bitcoin from this point? Look, I think, shout out Adam. Hi, by the way. In terms of just DCAing Bitcoin, I don't know. I think if Bitcoin goes down more, it provides a good DCA opportunity. I think at the current levels, just the dollar cost averaging Bitcoin, it's great for those who just want to have Bitcoin. It's great for those who want to escape fiat. It's great for those who look at Bitcoin as a store of value, Bitcoin as their sort of gold alternative, and who have long-term timeframes and don't care about Bitcoin's price until the 2030s or 2040s, which that's like actual long-term time frame, not tomorrow. A lot of people, how can I get rich tomorrow with a new pumped up fun, low cap shitter coin? That's not what we're talking about here. So it's always good to buy Bitcoin. But in terms of, I guess it really comes down to this. If the cycle's over, keep DCAing Bitcoin. If the cycle's not over, if we get some kind of adequate resolution and equity markets are happy with what they see, then altcoins probably still have a great opportunity for outperformance. Now, I know that being said, a lot of you guys are holding altcoins that are dramatically down, and just to get back to break even is going to be tough for a lot of these things. So it's not easy. It's not easy. It's been a rough market cycle for a variety of reasons, guys. Lark, don't listen. I clearly heard you saying, I said take profits so many times. Nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to do it. Yeah, I know. What do you think of AI 16Z's rebranding? I like it. Eliza OS, Eliza operating system. Why not? That's cool. Obviously, the market for AI coins is down horrifically right now, but I think those are some of the most reflexive coins when the market goes back into a risk-on attitude. Lark with Fat Token. Never. It's interesting. I saw Brian Johnson today. Well, yesterday he was talking about, I'm going to launch a token for my Don't Die community and stuff. And a lot of people DM'd him and stuff, basically saying, dude, do not launch tokens. There's just so few benefits to doing it and so many downsides. It's not worth it. And I hope he doesn't, personally. If he does, obviously, yeah, they'll probably pump because he's got a big brand, but it's dangerous for his brand. Don't think he needs it. Lark, why aren't you a Bitcoin maximalist? Because I like other things besides Bitcoin, quite simply. Lark, after this year, when's the next bull run? Well, probably a few years away, obviously, depending on wide cycles in the market. Where's liquidity go? Where's, what happens to rates, all that kind of stuff. Usually it works in about 4-year cycles, but let's see. Brandon says just bought some more ETH. Zero G I like. I'm an investor in that. Again, as always, portfolio disclosures down below. I like Zero G. I like what they're doing. I think it's good potential AI protocol. Investing in crypto is risky, and you lose all your money. Really hits true on days like today, doesn't it? I bought Cerebro, the AI agent, and once it started going down, the meme started becoming Zero Bro. Well, I guess that happened. Not quite, of course, but gosh darn. How do we get you to switch over to drinking Fiji water instead of Voss? Well, I like my Voss in the glass bottles here. Apparently they did some studies. I'm not an expert on this, but apparently did some studies on which plastic bottles leached the most microplastics into the water, and Fiji water was like number one. I like to say it's Fiji water. Tastes like water. It's pretty good, but yeah, that's problematic. Okay, where are we up to? Fart is doing the hot airs of our fart coin comment. Oh my gosh. Somebody, yeah, here we go. Fart is doing well. Yes, the hot air rises. Richard says, Lark, America's going to annex my country. Will Bitcoin save us? It's crazy stuff, isn't it, man? Crazy stuff. Okay. This isn't even a real pullback, says Clarity. Well, Clarity depends on what the assets that you're in, right? For again, we talked about the charts, right? But for Bitcoin's just still, as crazy as that may sound, as much fear as you've probably seen on your timeline over the weekend, Bitcoin's still just in its range, which is crazy. Okay, Bitcoin's in the range. ETH, it's not doing super hot, but it did at least bounce off of August support. Good God. Good God, Ethereum. Anyway, Solana's doing fine, bounced off local support, all good. Depends on what coins you're in, though. A lot of altcoins have been really hammered pretty hard, so it depends, right? It depends. I think we've seen so many rotations happen so fast this cycle. Money just moving every day. There's a new coin that goes from zero to hundreds of millions and back to zero. Relentless on-chain crime happening. It's getting pretty exhausting, to be honest. Well, AI 16Z and Zariba make comeback. AI 16Z, yes. Yeah, I think that's a good framework, and I think it'll have a strong comeback. I mean, when AI stuff picks up again, right? Cerebro, man, there's been some damage done. They're still working, hardworking team, still doing stuff, still shipping tech and all that. But holy gosh darn, man, that thing went down bad. NASDAQ futures are about to be a blood street. Strap in, folks. Where are our NASDAQ futures charts at here? Currently not. Currently not. Currently open, currently trading. Currently not doing that much. So let's see. Good morning, Walking Dead X. Good morning. Good morning. Nice to see you. How much of this move do you think was market manipulation? Well, markets are always manipulated one way or another. Certainly, market makers and whales and exchanges can take advantage of sentiment over the weekends. And again, crypto becomes a canary in the coal mine for how the sentiment markets happens over the weekend. Because, you know, lame ass stock markets only trade 9:30 to 4 p.m. Monday to Friday, excluding holidays and bank holidays and whatever. Lame. Come on, we need 365, 24/7 stock markets, man. Be way cooler. Okay. It's good if water tastes like what's the best water? The best water tastes like water, man. Huge fan of water. It tastes like water. 95K and people are scared. Well, you know, the reason people are scared is because most people do not have enough Bitcoin in their portfolio. I've got half my portfolio in Bitcoin. It's fine. And I cashed up some of my stuff yesterday before the worst of the crash happened. Fine. A lot of people are almost exclusively in low cap on-chain shitters. You know, they're in nothing but AI agents, meme coins and stuff. And look, I own meme coin. I got some fart coin, right? I've got some Benji. I've got, you know, different AI agent stuff, which is all just unbelievably slaughtered, but I didn't risk a gargantuan percentage of my portfolio on this stuff either. So, you know, c'est la vie, that's crypto. Okay. Tyson says, I'm curious how World Liberty Financial will be buying millions of dollars worth of alts with this around the corner. They had to know. So decoy to keep retail bullish or nothing to worry about. It's interesting. Maybe they just don't care. Maybe they're just buying X amount every week and they're going to position themselves into billions. So we'll see. Sorry, I missed it out. Scott, answer. He says, answer my question. Sorry, I missed some of these. Oh, here we go. You think we'll take a dip when the market's open? Potentially. Well, it depends on if the equity markets dip when the market's open. That's the thing. Let's see what equity markets actually do, what Wall Street actually does. That's the key, right? So far, the NASDAQ futures, not that bad. I mean, think about this. For as much insanity as there is in crypto right now, let me just bring this chart up because it's actually bonkers, right? For as much insanity as there is in crypto right now, the DeepSeek sell-off of last week was worse. Okay. What the hell happened on the 13th? Something happened. I don't even remember this. There's so much drama this month. What did we have on the 13th of January? It freaked everybody out. I don't even remember anymore, but there was something. Okay. And that sell-off was worse. See, it was so big and so important. We don't even remember anymore. This sell-off currently, the futures markets are showing that Wall Street not wildly concerned about tariffs, but let's see the actual markets open up in about an hour or so and see how they react. Okay. Let's see. This could have been a crypto-specific fear event. Everybody's too terminally online. And yeah. Lark, I'm sure with a nuanced response. Are you still looking for an April peak? Well, I still think that's definitely on the table. Obviously, if equity markets take this worse than they're currently looking to take it, if the open this week's really bad, if we have a bad week in equity this week, if Trump goes straight to the EU next and doubles the tariffs on Canada, there's a lot of things that could cause a lot of turbulence in the markets, and that won't necessarily be good for risk assets. Okay, so in that situation, maybe things don't transpire as we'd hoped they were going to, but cooler heads may prevail. I guess Donald Trump's not really known for having a super cool head, but cooler heads still can prevail. Negotiations are going to happen today. Those negotiations may provide all kinds of fruits that'll get the markets all bullish again for the next few months, and then things will be fine. So there's still, I think, a good case for an April, May, sort of something like that, market peak with a good season for altcoins during that period. Again, as we discussed earlier, the markets to an extent are in this Goldilocks zone right now, except for the tariff situation, which is obviously freaking everybody out in the short term. There's this Goldilocks scenario playing out right now where essentially there's so much good happening for the US markets that we've got some opportunity. Now, obviously, the dollar spiking today is not great, but that could just go down just as fast, especially if a deal's struck. Okay, continuing. Let's try and get up to the recent comments. We're gonna stream a little longer today, guys, just because it's quite the day in the markets. Do you hold any Foxy right now? I do not hold any Foxy, but I still do have Foxy that will release from my venture round investment in it. So that release for next 6 months or something like that, but I don't currently hold any. AI 16Z is gone, never going to have any value anymore. Nah, I'm not so sure about that. Sabo, I did not see your question, buddy. I see you asked about that, but I did not see your question. Post up again, I'll try to answer for you. Don't pay for it. Just post up again, and I'll try to answer for you. Lark, where's this bull market you keep talking about? Well, whether we like to admit it or not, and whether we like the volatility or not, the reality is that during bull market cycles, and you can go back and look at any previous bull market cycle, you are going to experience gut-wrenching, insane, wild volatility, particularly on altcoins. We're always talking about this, guys. Altcoins are the farthest end of the risk spectrum. Nobody takes me seriously when I say this shit, but it's true. It's true. You can literally lose all your money in some of these damn altcoins. This is why you don't go all in on the damn things. I know what you're thinking, but if I go all in on this risky, like $1 million low cap shitter, I'm going to make so much money if it goes to $1 billion. Yeah, but it's probably not going to go to $1 billion and probably lose all your damn money. Okay? You got to take the risk seriously. So we are still in a bull market until proven otherwise. Okay? Bitcoin's still in a bull market. Equity markets are still in a bull market. Okay? Now, that can change. Has not changed yet, but that can change. Todd says, finally got to lower up my buy averages. There were some great buying opportunities today. Some great buying opportunities for those of you who just have a bunch of extra cash sitting around and buy some stuff. Again, let's see what plays out during the rest of the week. We may get some more buying opportunities if more scary news comes out that spooks the markets, but let's see. Trump is just out here treating the economy like a Black Friday sale. Waiting for that sweet, sweet discount. Lark, what about your spot positions still in profit? Depends on the spot positions. Some of the spot positions are doing really well, like the ETH and Chainlink that I took off the table. Those are both in huge profits, so it's an easy one for me to do. Some of the altcoins are at a loss currently. Obviously, all the AI coins are currently just slaughtered. Not thinking about those, just disconnecting that currently. Fart coin's currently down, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fart coin, man. Depends on the altcoins. Some of the altcoins are, quite a few of them are still in profit. Some of them are not, but I'm riding out, except for the stuff that I listed earlier. Everything else is just, I'm riding it right now. So again, that's based on the idea that I still think we have a good potential for altcoins coming in Q1, Q2, assuming that things don't get dramatically worse on the macro scene. What do you think about based AI? Absolutely no opinion. What do you think about render? Like render, I like AI coins in general. I think they're generally a pretty good topic for the cycle. Now, obviously, they've sold off to an unbelievable degree. Basically, the last 6 weeks, last 4 weeks, hell, for AI coins have been dramatically bad. Shocking to me, even how bad they sold off. Goodness gracious! I remember posting in the Discord when Cerebro and AI16Z got listed on perpetual swaps on Binance. And I said, oh shit, it's probably the top for these for a while. You know, we're probably going to see. And I thought, oh, it's okay. They'll just go down a little bit. And it's probably not going to be, oh, fuck me, like 90% down on Cerebro. Jesus. Down only. Zero, bro. Zero. Anyway, it's down so bad now. Just hold it. Screw it. What do you think about Ondo with BlackRock? I don't know the in and outs of that partnership, but obviously BlackRock's a major player and Ondo benefits from that association in a big way. So Ondo being one of the leading players right now in RWAs and stuff like that. So cool. Lark, thoughts on ski mask dog? I mean, look, it's one of the biggest memes on base, but you have to understand the reflexivity of memes. Right? When market risk off events come, they sell off to a disgusting degree. And even your memes that you thought were like blue chip memes, doesn't matter, right? So you can look at base memes like, you know, Brett and stuff like that, sold off horrifically. You can look at dog with hat, right? Put the hat on the dog. It's a pretty big deal. Went down to 70 some cents or something like that in the sell-off. Crazy stuff, man. It was at $5 a few weeks ago. So if you are a big fan of dogs that have ski masks on, it's probably at an interesting discount right now. Does that mean it's going to go on to success and that it can't keep going down? I've seen people talking about like PopCat for weeks on end now, where it's like, oh, PopCat, man, it's going to go and like do something at some point, and then it just keeps going down and down and down and down and down. Rejection, 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 rejection. We talked about that the other week, said, hey, look, here's an opportunity if it can beat the downtrend, take out the 20-day EMA, but it just keeps getting rejected at those zones. But at some point, these memes will bottom and some of them will come back to life. Some of the memes, even household meme names that you know right now, are probably not coming back. Okay? They're probably not coming back. They might already be dead for the cycle. Now, I'm not saying all memes, not by any means. Stuff like dog of hat's probably going to come back, right? But how many dog derivatives on Solana are going to come back? Or like the dead squirrel, is that going to come back and go to be billions of dollars again? I have my doubts. Okay? Okay. A couple more questions, guys, and we'll try to finish up today. I'm trying not to do these super long streams, but I feel like today is a day and we're going to do a bit of a longer stream for you guys. So, yeah. You're delusional. It's been over. Maybe. Bitcoin's going to $1 million, man. Just not anytime soon. Do you think there'll be no AI season anymore because of DeepSeek? No, it's the opposite. If anything, DeepSeek is good fuel for the AI season, right? Why wouldn't these AI agents and all that stuff benefit from better AI? Because of course they should. Seems like the last start from the bear market. Could be. You know, we got to watch out. If the macro condition worsens rapidly, you know, it might be time to reconsider the views. Currently, though, I'm not sure we're in that situation, but yeah. Okay. 'Cause, 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 'cause If you tried magic, where is this? Where did that question go? If you tried, oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Trying to catch up. They're bouncing up on me. You tried magic mushrooms very, very long time ago. Very, very, very long time ago. So it was interesting. Teenage stuff, you know, it was a long time. Whereas one time I was walking down just through a little village, my little island in New Zealand. I was walking behind this girl, and she had like a trench coat and like a the beret on. We're just walking. After a few minutes, she just kind of turns around. It was a long walk, you know, just walking down the sidewalk. And after a few minutes, she just kind of turns around like, "Hey, man, you want some mushrooms?" I'm like, "Why? I guess I'm not doing anything today, so why not?" That was funny. Anyway, oh, he only responds to super chats? Absolutely not. I'm responding to everybody's as many questions as I can. Actually, I usually forget to respond to the super chats. So, you know, people are reminding me, hey, dude, I gave you a super chat. Can you please respond to it? But I don't necessarily prioritize super chats. Okay. Lark, what about the Near protocol? I still think one of those nice bullish blockchains, slaughtered as well, obviously, in the recent sell-off. But I like Near protocol. I like what they're doing. I like their AI focus. I like their push for a 1.4 trillion parameter AI protocol. Like, I mean, they're doing really cool stuff, man. One of the most used blockchains. You don't hear about it a lot, but people are using it. Let's see. It's one of those ones that I think is well positioned to do well on the next market upturn. That's my opinion anyway. If we keep bleeding throughout February, do you still believe that Q1 will turn into a real alt season, or are you starting to get worried? If we bleed through the entirety of February, it probably changes the market structure in such a way that we push the timeline just gets pushed back, right? So maybe it's not so much about, you know, February, March, then maybe it becomes more about April, May, June, even. Well, let's see though. Yeah. Let's see, indeed. I'm not particularly worried at the current juncture in the market, to be honest, but you have to watch things, right? You also can't just go sleepwalking around pretending everything's going to be fine all the time, because sometimes things aren't fine. Sometimes shit does turn against you in the market, and it can definitely happen. And if the market continues to have a meltdown over the tariff situation, and if there's no sort of negotiation or cooling down, which I don't think Donald's in the cool down phase of the tariff negotiations right now, then you can expect some chaos. Now, how long is that chaos? It could be very short-lived. By the end of the week, we could all be being mega bullish again. Might be a few weeks. Okay. So far, I don't see the evidence that a new bear market is starting. Obviously, again, all on-chain altcoins and even a lot of the big centralized exchange altcoins devastated. Bitcoin, Solana doing pretty well. A lot of other coins are actually doing surprisingly decently and didn't actually sell off that bad during this recent sell-off. But that doesn't mean that things can't get worse. So you have to keep your mind open. You have to keep watching with eyes that show you what the market is telling you, not what you want to hear from the market. Okay? Which is part of the reason why I de-risked my a little bit of my crypto portfolio yesterday, because I was saying, well, the market's panicking about this. I don't think it's that big of a fucking deal, but apparently the market does. So I'm just gonna move a bit into cash, wait and see what happens. Right? Will you let us know when the bear market is, Lark? I'll do my best, man. I'll do my best. Of course, usually these things are only fully obvious in hindsight, unfortunately, which is why we take profits regularly. I've only been preaching about it nonstop in basically every video for the past year, but anyway. The fine print in those tariffs has retaliatory escalation of Canada, Mexico, and China responding kind, and they have. I know. Things get real crazy. Let's see if the negotiations manage to work anything out here. Your voice okay? Yeah, I was still just recovering on the far end of bronchitis. I feel a lot better this week. But still just, you know, I've been recording a few videos and stuff, but today, so my voice is already, but plus we're almost an hour into the live stream now. But yeah, almost better. What's your take on XRP? XRP, as you guys may or may not know, is one of those coins I've never been a gigantic fan of, okay, for a variety of reasons. But I don't hate XRP, and I salute the XRP community for all the stuff that they've done and fighting the SEC and all that stuff, and I hope that their coin pumps like crazy. And I do think, here's my take on XRP. I do think that XRP's got a lot of great narrative to run in a risk-on situation, bull market situation, because of a few key things. One, you got the XRP ETF coming. Of course, you're going to get a freaking XRP ETF under the administration. Obviously, RLUSD, probably the most bullish catalyst for XRP. Well, since I first bought XRP in, was it July of 2017 or something like that? Obviously, I then sold it in like August of 2017 for like a 20% loss. But, you know, that was just like newbie investing stuff. But I think that XRP's got some real potential for burning XRP, getting adoption, getting acceleration, all that kind of stuff, thanks to that. And I'm not saying XRP is going like $100 or something this cycle. I still think that if we get the right bullish market conditions and if we get the right sort of situation happening where we do get enough risk on, whether that's Q1, Q2, or things take a little a little bit longer to boil up. As long as we don't get a recession and the markets don't completely freaking crash on us, right? Then we still have a lot of good tailwinds for a bull market scenario in 2025. And in that situation, XRP goes to like 7, 8, 9, maybe $10 top. Okay. I have no opinion on TARS AI. Why does the market react so bad to tariffs for countries less than 1% of the GDP of the USA? The problem is the potential impacts for the US economy. That's what everybody's worried about. See, because tariffs in the United States, even if it's on their trading partners, means that things in the USA are potentially going to get more expensive for Americans, which means that inflation is likely to go back up. If inflation starts going back up, guess what the Fed's going to have to do? Raise rates. What happens if inflation goes to 5%? Now, the Fed can just keep rates as they are, but they might have to raise rates. Remember, the Fed's an independent organization. They don't take their marching orders from Trump. Trump can say what he wants. Trump can try to negotiate with them, but he doesn't, at the end of the day, completely control them, right? That's why Jerome Powell laughed when Trump said something like, "I'll just ask him to go," and then the reporter asked, like, Powell, like, "Oh, what if Donald Trump asks you to leave? Are you going to have to leave?" And Jerome Powell said no, and then walked off the stage, basically. So there's always that sort of situation going on. Rob says, I was surprised to hear you dump Chainlink and ETH. I'm still up in profits on those. Probably not likely it's going to drop back to the bear market lows. Well, I dumped those because they were big positions that were easy to dump and secure a bit of, profits in. Plus triggering a tax event. Aha, see, Rob, this is the thing. I was actually thinking about this last night. When I lived in New Zealand, when I was a tax resident in New Zealand, I would never do this. I would just ride and hope, shit gets better and be stuck in positions all the time, because had I sold, you trigger a giant tax bill every time you do it. Now, living in Dubai, it's not a problem. So I can just move in and out of positions if I want. It's pretty stress-free. Let's move to cash in a couple of my positions, bulk up the cash position, wait, see how things play out. If markets recover much sooner than I expect, then I'll just, come in around break even. Not a big deal. Who cares? If markets get worse than I expect, then guess what? I got a lot of dry powder now to rebuy positions, right? That's my reasoning anyway for it. Come on, Lark. One answer, bro. Don't know what that's relation to. Do you own any AOs? No, I don't. You can always see my portfolio disclosures down below. How's the weather today? About 22, 23, 24, something like that in Dubai today. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Sunny, unsurprisingly. Sunny and warm. It's winter, though. It's, pretty nice this time of year. Smaller the country, the more pain from tariffs. Amen to that. Amen to that. It's a lot worse. It's going to be a lot worse for the other countries than it's going to be for the USA. Mexico and Canada potentially going to go into recessions over this. So they're going to have to do something to negotiate. USA might go into recession over it, but that's a lot less certain. Any hope for WIF, or is it dead? I feel like if there's any meme coin that has bounce back potential, aside from fart coin, obviously, that has bounce back potential on Solana, it's probably gonna be dog with hat. But did you see Joe Rogan? They talked about fart coin with Joe Rogan the other day. Somebody just mentioned to him that it existed. And he laughed, of course. He never, if you talk about, they put a hat on a dog, you went, okay. Right? You don't really get this. Nobody really laughs when they see dog with hat, do they? It's not really funny. Just kind of a cute dog, which is fine. Fart coin, though, that shit's funny. Farting's funny. We all know that. Farting's hilarious, especially when girls do it. Okay. Lark, why did you sell your aerodrome? Well, like I was saying the other day, no hate against the aerodrome, but I've been thinking more and more about holding that aerodrome bag and thinking that, well, okay, I don't want to stake it for 4 years. That feels crazy to me. Okay. So if I'm not going to be staking it for 4 years, then I'm going to be a constant victim of inflation, essentially just by holding a spot bag. So you either need to stake it or farm it, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I'm just sharing, right? Not financial advice for you, but I think with Aerodrome, great farming coin, man. If you got extra money sitting on base, farm, boys, farm, make that cheddar. Let's go. It's a good farming coin. Very good farming coin. Make a lot of money farming Aerodrome. You can make a lot of money staking Aerodrome. Returns are really good for stakers if you're willing to lock it for 4 fucking years, which I'm not willing to do. I'm just not. I have no faith adequate in any altcoin for 4 years. Oh boy. Yeah, but I've been talking about selling it anyway recently because of those reasons. Potentially for Jupiter. Now, so when it came to yesterday, I was like, I want to get some more cash on hand just to ride out the volatility here. And again, this volatility can end much sooner than we expect, and I'll just move back into some positions. It's not a big deal. But I was thinking with Aerodrome, I wanted to sell it anyway. It's probably going to just flip into Jupe. I'll just take the cash now, decide how much I'm going to put that into Jupe later. So easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay. You know what, guys? We're running up on an hour. I think we're going to finish up there. Time to go hang out with the wife and kids. It's been great talking crypto with you guys. Just remember, survive in these markets, okay? Do not over leverage yourselves. Please, please, please use stop losses, guys. If you're gambling with these on-chain shitters, you've probably already learned the lesson that these things can go to zero in a very short amount of time. For future gambling on on-chain shitters, keep your percentages low, okay? 0.1% of your portfolio is probably enough for a lot of these things, okay? Because the chance of them going to zero is very high, as always, okay? Stay safe out there, guys. Okay, still lots of exciting things coming for crypto in 2025. Hopefully this tariff stuff gets resolved itself soon and we can all just get back on to nice bullish vibes and everybody doesn't have to be freaking out about what's going on in the macro scene. But this is 100% a macro-driven market right now. The things that the president of the USA does or does not do is going to, in a lot of ways, define what's going on in the cryptocurrency markets this year. Hey, Nikolai. Okay, my son's here. I got to go. Peace, guys. Bye.